Hi, Devin the Bear here. Today we're going to be talking about UFC 284. We're going to be focused on the main card. The prelims are going to be pretty good. There's some pretty good names of up-and-comers. Probably the most recognizable is going to be Tyson Pedro and Modestas Bukauskas. That's going to be a pretty solid fight. I think that's going to be Tyson Pedro's biggest test coming in because Modestas has beaten some pretty big names in terms of an up-and-comer.
I'm really looking forward to this fight. I was a huge fan of Tyson Pedro before the injury that he had when he was out for a while, and coming back, he's looked good. He's 2-0, both stoppages since he's been back. He beat I know Ike Villanueva was one of them, which is always a tough fight especially for a comeback fight from a serious injury that he sustained. And then Modestas Bukauskas,
I want to clarify. He's fought big names, hasn't always beaten them.
No,
he's
he
fought
hasn't,
them,
yeah.
so he has the experience while Tyson Pedro's been out.
It is a big test, though, considering that he's coming back, and he's trying to prove himself again. That because he was fighting like top guys whenever before he got injured. But yeah, so he's taking on Modestas Bukauskas, and if you don't remember who that is, he fought Khalil Roundtree. He lost by leg kick. It was the knee stomp.
Yeah, he was the one that got stomped up.
But since leaving the UFC, though, he's went 2-0, and he's back in the UFC taking on Tyson Pedro. And I'm excited for that fight. That's a great prelim headliner.
Yeah, I think my hope is that Tyson Pedro can put a stamp on that one and be like, I'm here, and y'all aren't talking about me enough.
Yeah.
Because I feel like people aren't talking about him enough.
No.
And when they do, it's not in the best light. But anyway, main card, the opener is going to be Jimmy Crute and Alonzo Menifield. I feel like people are sleeping on that fight. I feel like that is going to... There's so many fights in the main card that could easily be fight of the night. And I do feel like this could be one of them. It depends on where the fight goes. If Jimmy Crute can keep Alonzo from taking it to the ground, the way that they strike is pretty wild. I feel like it could be very fun to watch. I do feel like you're going to see a knockout in this fight.
I think so too. I think the knockout's more in Alonzo's favor than it is Jimmy Crute's, just based off styles. I really liked watching Jimmy Crute fight. He throws down, but Alonzo Menifield's coming off of a two win streak right now, both by knockout. And Jimmy Crute kind of has this thing about keeping his head on, staying in line with his head when he does certain things. And Alonso's he's just one of those guys you don't want to do that to. Like, you have to have some type of head movement, and your guard always has to be up because he has crazy power.
I think Jimmy Crute's last two fights have been unfortunate. One was the leg kick by Anthony Smith that just dead-legged him, and he couldn't get it back.
Yeah.
And then Jamal Hill.
Look where he's at now,
Yeah.
So
it's not anything to really like. Jimmy Crute doesn't look bad from those losses.
Right.
It just kind of is what it is. Other than that, he was getting wins. So I think that's a very good fight for the opener, for the main card. And then you have Justin Tafa and Parker Porter. I feel like that's like the average guy's dream fight. Like the average Joe wants to see these two guys go at it. Like the old school UFC fans, like,
yeah,
this is going to give us some like freaking Tank Davis.
Tank Davis versus Mark
Tank
Hunt.
Abbott. Sorry.
Tank Abbott versus
Tank
Mark.
Abbott.
That's what this is Tank Abbott versus Mark Hunt.
It's gonna be great. Parker Porter's so strange because like seeing him now versus what he used to be is weird, but like he's so good at heavyweight.
Yeah.
I think obviously there is an issue of him being as big as he is, but I don't know how well Justin Tafa is gonna be able to handle Parker Porter in the first round. I think Parker Porter in the first round is very good.
I feel like he's good throughout the whole fight, though. Like
I do too. Yeah. I'm not saying he doesn't, but I'm saying Justin Tafa will be able to keep up with a fight going to decision because he's been there before.
Right.
Parker Porter doesn't do well in the third round.
No, he does. He does gas, but he does keep a good pace through those first two rounds. And Justin Tafa is just he has that power to where he'll just kind of like walk. he's flat-footed, but it's because he knows he can just do whatever he can land that one punch. But I mean, it's a fun fight if you really think about it. It's two heavyweights. It's not very common you see.
I think I'm mixing up those names.
Oh, Parker Porter.
Yeah, I'm saying it backwards. Parker Porter's great going to decision. Justin Tafa doesn't do as well the further the fight goes.
Dude's got two last names for a name.
Parker. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So let me clarify that or re-clarify. Parker Porter's, I think, going to be really great. The further the fight goes on, I don't know how well he's going to handle Justin Tafa in the first round. You start saying the power and the flat-footedness, and I'm like, yeah. Oh, I'm saying it wrong. And yeah, I think that's going to be a really good fight.
I got Justin Tafa by a walk-off knockout.
I could see it, but
I'm also just talking out of my ass right now.
It apparently is hard to knock out Parker Porter.
He can take a fucking hit, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, have you ever had,
freaking can.
You ever had Prime before?
Shut up. The mid-card fight is going to be Jack Maddalena and Randy Brown. This one is the one I think will probably be fight of the night.
This is far from a mid-card slump. It's a great fight.
It's the opposite.
Yeah, Jack Maddalena has incredible hands. He's fun boxing, but so does Randy Brown. Randy Brown is good everywhere, and we've seen that. But Jack Maddalena, we're seeing him come into his own footing. He's really shown out. I forgot I know he has a couple knockouts in the UFC, but I don't remember exactly what he's undefeated in the UFC. I know that, right?
Yeah, his Danny Roberts was his last fight. That's the one where he's got like this picture perfect combination to the body, to the head.
Yeah.
Really freaking good. That's worth looking up. But yeah, I think this fight is very good. Both guys are hard to deal with on the feet. And I don't think that it goes to the ground, but if it does, I don't see how Randy Brown doesn't take it. He may not win by submission, but I don't know if he'll be able to. I don't know if Jack is going to be able to hold off Randy Brown the whole fight.
Yeah, I've never really seen Randy on the ground before to really know.
He's not bad. He's not bad. He's got submission wins. He's not bad. But this is MMA. Eventually he's going to fight. There are people who are better on the ground.
Right.
But I don't think it's Jack Della Maddalena.
Right. Yeah. So, I've always seen how Jack is just good boxing. So
fantastic boxing.
He has really good hands. It's fun. So, co-main event, you have the interim featherweight championship on the line between Yair Rodriguez and Josh Emmett, the dark horse of the division.
Why?
I just had to fuck with you a little bit, man. Sorry.
I don't get that.
But
Devin saw a post recently about Josh Emmett being the dark horse. I don't really think that there is a dark horse in the featherweight division because the top 10 guys we know all about. They are all very freaking good. Everyone wants to make a case for them being, the dark horse. But if everyone's making a case for them, then they, by definition, cannot be a dark horse. That's just how that's how that term works. So Josh Emmett is not a dark horse because we all know how good he is. We've all seen it.
Yeah, but I feel like just like you have to know who Josh Emmett is to know how good he is because he came back from his injury.
But that's what I'm saying. We all know how good he is now. Yeah. That Kyle Cater fight cemented it.
Yeah, but me and you know that. But like the casual fan, not in a fucked up way, but like the casual fan probably doesn't even know who Josh Emmett is.
I think they do.
But
I think his fight against Cater did that.
Yeah.
Like people know who he is now.
And so, yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, but regardless of the point, this is a good fight though. It's a fun fight. Josh Emmett has heavy hands. Yair Rodriguez has a very unorthodox style, and it's really hard to solve.
It's always weird with Rodriguez because you can never count him out. Yeah. You look at the Chan Sung Jung fight, and that's a very good example.
Yeah.
It's weird. You look at his fight against Max Holloway. There's so many times where if it was anyone other than Max Holloway, he would have knocked him out at a random point in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, even Max Holloway struggled with somebody like that, but also like you don't really see Max Holloway fight guys his size either.
Yeah,
just because it's that division. But yeah, man, it was a good fight, but I don't know. I'm going for Josh Emmett just because I've been a fan of his a lot longer than Yair Rodriguez is. But it would be really cool to see Yair finally get that title shot. He's been in the top 5 for a long time. It feels like.
Yeah. That one's a toughie for me because I really like Josh Emmett. I've been a fan of him for a while. When he came in, he was with Uriah Faber, right?
Yes. Is he still with Uriah?
I don't remember if he's still with him, but I remember Uriah talking him up, and I was like, all right, well, I need to pay attention to this guy. And I did, and I was very impressed.
I know I saw when Danny Castillo was in his corner, so I assume that he's still with Team Alpha Male.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I love Yair Rodriguez. He's always going to be fun to watch no matter what. But yeah, do I want him to beat Josh Emmett? I don't know. So
Right.
I'm honestly, as far as the prediction goes, I'm happy either way. It's what I think happens if anyone cares. Uh, I it's going to be a weird first and second round. I really think that if it goes to the third round, that's Josh Emmett's going to be gassed, but that's his best chance for the knockout.
Yeah.
Because I think he could get it at any point in the first and second round. I'm not saying he's not going to get it in the first and second round, but I think if he holds himself and lets Yair do his weird stuff and spinning stuff, and if he's able to hold off on, gassing himself out, he can get the knockout in the third round pretty easy. But first and second round is going to be weird because that first round, they're both going to have to implement their style. Because if you let Yair do his thing, it's going to go bad for you. But if you let Josh push forward, it's going to go bad for you because he's also got wrestling.
Yeah, he's got wrestling, but Josh also has a bad habit for throwing a lot of looping punches.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where Yair's going to shine at because he's so much longer than him. The reach advantage is definitely in Yair's corner. Like that's his advantage, you know.
Yair first round knockout or Josh Emmett third round knockout. That's my thoughts.
I don't really have thoughts on this. Is a hard one for me to pick, but I don't know, man. I can't really pick on this one, but I'm pulling for Josh Emmett just because the amount of things that he's been through, like nonstop
those
injuries,
man. And he comes back and he looks great every time he comes back.
Yeah, and so it's crazy because he doesn't really show ring rust, you know. But yeah, he comes back looking solid as ever. I remember I was a big fan of him, like whenever he's fighting Jeremy Stevens, and then Stevens broke his orbital, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. But I'm hoping the best for the dude. I do want to see him pull off the win though. So yeah, so main event
that brings us to a main event where you and I both are pretty. We're not gonna have a hard time picking who we want to win in this fight. No. Neither of us are, and I am a fan of Islam, so I shouldn't say that we're not fans. You're not a fan. I get the feeling.
What's that?
You're not a fan of Islam.
I do like Islam.
Oh, you do?
But I just I guess I'm kind of critical of him because it's just it's hard. So I was critical because it's he's getting a title shot just like Khabib did. We haven't seen him really fight anybody in the top 5, and then he wins the title. So I mean, he won the title. So it's okay, that answered all the. But it's very different from how Khabib won the title though. Khabib beat fucking Iaquinta for the title, who was number 11 at the time.
Yeah, I think he is mirroring Khabib's run and career, but it is a little better. It is still Khabib 2.0.
Yeah.
But we were just breaking down his he's on an 11 win streak.
Yeah.
And if you break it down, the first half are not top guys. And then the next 2 or 3 are good fighters, but not top guys.
Right.
His last 2 or 3 fights have been top guys, and he's looked great. So I'm not really questioning it. But if he comes in here and gets beat by Volkanovski, what does that say?
Yeah. I mean, that's what
Khabib retired at the right time.
I guess so.
Before the right person came along. I don't know, man.
It's just and then you got Volkanovski. Volkanovski's everyone keeps talking about the size difference, which is gonna be there. There's gonna be the strength advantage. I feel like it's still not Khabib, Islam's corner. And I do give him Islam the strength advantage, but also Volkanovski's used to having to fight bigger guys. He's used to having when they talk about a little bit about when he played rugby, what the position he played in rugby, he had to go against guys twice his size and all that all the time. He's been training with Craig Jones on his grappling, on getting back up and on his all that stuff. Being able to combat.
He said that he does 35 minutes of starting off in the worst position you could be in a submission, the very final part of a submission, and then getting out of it. So I really, really hope they are working arm triangle and rear naked choke, because those are going to be his biggest issues, I think.
That and the arm triangle. Islam's really good at snapping.
That's what I said.
Oh, yeah, I think they said rear naked choke.
Arm triangle and rear naked. Oh. Those are the two that Islam's really good at, because those are the pitches. But the way that they wrestle, the way that Dagestanis wrestle, those are the submissions they end up in a lot, because they want to control you. And the most controlling positions are having their back or on top of them with your arms around them. So eventually you're going to fall into arm triangle.
Yeah. And so,
I wish people would understand it was half guard, but it's not.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Kidding.
Okay. But, I don't know. I'm pulling for Volkanovski. I think he's got the better stand up of the two. Not saying that Islam has bad kickboxing. He doesn't. He has good. He actually has very good hands. It's not.
It's very fundamental, but it's
Yeah,
good.
it's not like top tier boxing at all, but it's still good though. He's still able to draw people. I mean, look what he did at Gleison Tebow. I mean, they were on the feet. He knocked him out. And
That's Gleison Tebow.
yeah, hey, he doesn't have terrible hands.
This is but comparing him to Volkanovski,
Dude,
like,
Volkanovski's look like a fucking world beater, whatever the fuck.
I'll say this. Other than Max Holloway, who has Volkanovski beat in the last, however many years, because he had to fight Holloway twice? Chan Sung Jung, who everybody's given up on, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like leading into the fight, a lot of people were pulling for Chan Sung in that fight.
They were pulling for him, but no one expected him to win that fight.
I didn't expect it to be so one-sided.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I was hoping, but no.
Who else
And
did
then
he beat?
Brian Ortega, which everyone is kind of giving up on.
Yeah. He also beat Jose Aldo.
Yeah. An older Jose Aldo, which I know has shown that he can still do it. But, that was 2019, sorry. And then 2018, it was Chad Mendez, and then Darren Elkins, Jeremy Kennedy. My point is, his win streak, there's a lot of people on there who aren't around anymore, and they're not around for a reason. So, is Volkanovski that good? I do think so.
Okay.
Just what he does with Max Holloway. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I know.
But what he did to Max Holloway is a big deal. But then other than Max Holloway, you have Chan Sung Jung, Brian Ortega, and older Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is his stand up really that good?
I think so.
Okay, I know.
Sorry.
But if he fights Islam and it goes to the ground, I don't think it ends well for him.
Yeah.
I don't care how much you train. If you're training all that stuff now, you should have been doing it your whole life, your whole career.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's going to take to stop Islam and Khabib. Like, that's what it's going to take to stop those guys. So it's going to be tough. Islam's goal needs to be to get it to the ground, but I don't think it is. I think he's going to want to go for the knockout.
Yeah. That's what I mean. He's talked about wanting to go for the knockout too.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think it's a good idea. Well, the thing is though, is like, because it happened whenever he fought Charles Oliveira, especially, you saw it is just Charles didn't want to go to the ground. He was like, in the second round, he was hesitant to throw it because he knew that takedown was right there. And the thing about these Dagestani guys is they can do that to where they can completely psych you out and to where you're so focused on not going to the ground because that guy is so strong. And it's like he can take you down at your own will. I know Charles is a little different because of his jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But it's like, what if he gets Volkanovski down, keeps him there for like 3 minutes. They goes in the second round. Volkanovski's like, fuck, like I can't really throw a punch because he's probably going to shoot. He's going to, and it's like now he's just overthinking that whole thing. But it's also having that explosive power that I know Volkanovski said that he's been working on a lot, So
I'd like to see... I think this would be fantastic, and I think this would solidify Volk as the number one pound for pound, is if Islam gets a takedown. It's going to happen. But then the next time Islam shoots in for a takedown, knockout with a counter knee. Boom. Fight IQ, 99. Knees, 99.
Dude, it's like when I play the UFC 4 and I get Volkanovski, it's just like
you're unbeatable.
There's nobody's
They made him
touching
so
me, dude.
freaking good. But if he were to beat Islam with a flying knee as Islam was shooting in, boom,
dude,
put him on the cover.
I think he did. He definitely can knock out Islam. Islam has been.
I think he
knocked out
could
before.
too. I think he could knock out Islam. He's good enough to. He's strong enough to. He's explosive enough to. It's just that takedown. Is he going to be able to stop that takedown? Because I also do think that Islam can knock out Volk.
Right.
But I think he has a harder time knocking out Volk than Volk does Islam. And that's just because of how comfortable Volk is on the feet. I don't think Islam's as comfortable. And that's going to show at some point in this fight.
Yeah.
Clip that. Because I really feel like that's going to happen.
It was so you have. Yeah.
What?
I don't know. So your pick is
man, I don't know. It's really tough because if you pick anyone, by the feet, by a knockout,
Yeah.
Islam could just take it to the ground and win immediately.
Yeah.
You don't know. If you pick Islam by submission, anyone could get knocked out in this fight because both guys have shown they can knock anyone out.
Where's James Krause when we need him?
Yeah, tell us who you're betting on, James.
Yeah.
At
least tell us who you think is gonna win.
I'm gonna say Islam by decision.
Islam by decision?
Yeah, I don't want it to be, but my thought process is it does stay on the feet, but Islam doesn't fight the way that Volk wants him to fight. He's not very aggressive, and Volk kind of feeds into that by being overly aggressive and just getting countered the whole time.
Yeah.
Because of the size difference, and then we go to decision. There's a couple takedowns in there. Islam, is gonna get a couple takedowns, and
yeah,
it'll go to decision. It'll be a lackluster main event.
I don't know, man.
For a great pay-per-view, and that's what we're gonna be left with.
That's what sucks. I'm gonna have to pay $80 for this shit.
Yeah, freaking
dude.
Yeah,
fucking tell me. What's it called? I don't know. I think Volkanovski. I think he gets the knockout. I don't.
Do you think that, or do you feel that? Do you want that?
I fucking want that so bad, dude. I'm such a huge fan of Volkanovski. Like I don't know, man. I'm a fucking.
I don't understand the people who don't like Volkanovski.
I don't get it either.
It doesn't make sense. He's such a cool dude. He's goofy. He makes those dumb cooking videos, but they're not dumb to him. He loves them. He loves doing it.
Yeah. It's
not like a fun thing he's doing for attention.
I know people like really started to fucking dislike him like right after the what's it called? After he beat Max the first time, and that's when, and then he beat Max again.
People sorry he beat your boy.
Yeah, and I'm like, but he's good though. Yeah. And then like you look at what he's done since getting that title, it's like, dude, shit.
And Max is a fantastic number 2, and that's okay.
Yeah, and it's like, well, I'm still gonna tune into a Max Holloway fight. I can still like both guys, but you have to understand, like, Volkanovski's the champ, and he's a great fucking champ. Man, dude, I just really fucking hope he wins. I'm a stan, dude. Honestly. Like, that's probably my favorite fighter, man. He's so fucking good.
Yeah, we can tell.
Yeah,
we can tell.
He's amazing, dude. His muscles are the best.
If he came out with a cologne, would you wear it?
Fuck yeah, dude. Shit, he came out with a cookbook. That's all I would do.
You're gonna shave your head.
I'm gonna shave my fucking head, grow my beard back out, and just be like, yeah, I need to bulk up like fucking Volkanovski. So when I meet him, be like, hey, we look alike. He's not gonna know that I purposely did that, but
yeah, no. I'm gonna just be like, dude, well, hey, Volk, you're right here, shake my hand. But I'm gonna be looking at you, and he'll be like, oh, no, that's me. And I'll be like, whoa.
What's that shit from Nacho Libre when they're trying to hype up that dude?
Dude, I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Dude, that shit cracks me the fuck up. But
sorry,
I don't know, man. What's your thoughts on the Ultimate Fighter stuff?
I am excited for the drama, which I wish I never would say, because that's never why I liked Ultimate Fighter. I always liked it for the fighting, but the fighting has not been good in a long time.
Right.
Neither has the drama.
No.
So I think the drama between Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor should be fantastic or very cheesy. Because I feel like Conor, when he talks trash, everybody loses their minds. No one even knows what he's saying. And nothing he says makes sense. But people lose their minds when he says it. Like, but I think Michael Chandler is just cringy and cheesy because that's who he is.
Yeah.
So it could be really lame or it could be very fun.
I think it's going to be fun.
I hope Conor crosses the line.
What's that?
I hope Conor crosses the line.
Dude, I want to see that, man. He's probably going to say something about his kids.
Yeah. And I hope he does for our entertainment.
For the sake of the viewers.
Do it for the Vine.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Of course I remember that. But yeah, man, I don't know. My thing is, though, is the fight actually even going to happen? I mean, they announced the coaches. We don't know what's happening. Manny Lozoya is going to be on it, which is exciting. Yeah.
Houston fighter.
So that's really fucking cool.
The Lozoya brothers.
Yeah, they're both really good, man. I enjoy watching both those guys fight. But the thing is the fight actually going to happen? You know, Conor hasn't entered the testing pool. He needs 6 months of a clean test. We don't know what he's been on, what he's been doing, because he's been out of the testing pool to heal his bones all the way. But is he gonna enter the testing pool so in 6 months we actually see this fucking fight?
Or are they just trying to hype up a season of The Ultimate Fighter to get people to watch it again?
I think that's it. Like if he doesn't enter the testing pool, like when this show premieres, then that's exactly what it is.
I don't know. if we get to see Chandler and McGregor fight, I think that's very exciting. I know everybody's at this point, it's more divided than it used to be, which is saying something, I think. But I think you either love McGregor or you're sick of him. I have a shirt that I got in, I don't know, man, like 2013 that says King of Dublin, Conor McGregor on the back. I've been a fan. I'm, got the Irish flag ahead, above us right now. I've been a fan for a long time, but I'm so tired of him. Liam Neeson came out and said that he's a disgrace to Irish people.
And that guy said something about black people one time. So it's some shit when he says something about that.
I think it's important how people see Conor McGregor, because if Conor McGregor comes into this as the villain and he leans into that, I think he's going to be very relaxed and very comfortable. And this being his return to the cage, I don't think will faze him. But if he's trying to be like correct and the way Dana should want him to be, whatever that is, who knows? I don't know. Maybe it's not even relevant. But if he's trying to be the fan favorite, you're not going to be. Michael Chandler is the new fan favorite because of his fights. He hasn't been winning them, but they're fun fights. So I think let Michael Chandler be the good guy, because naturally he just is. And you be the bad guy because naturally you just are.
Yeah.
Do that and you get comfortable. And I think if he's relaxed, he can be the same fighter he used to be. But with this new body, this new build that he is, I think if he's too much in his head, he's going to get knocked out.
It's a big possibility.
I think this fight is very much a mental game between these two.
It's going to have to be. I mean, Michael Chandler's going to finally, hopefully, gets the Conor fight that he's wanted since he joined the UFC.
Yeah.
I don't know what Conor's goals are, but if it's to make a run for the title again, I mean, he's got to get a lot of things together in order.
And now he's going to be doing it at freaking lightweight or welterweight.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. It's a lot going on with that shit. So.
Conor versus Kamaru.
Jesus.
Just thinking out loud. But
Conor and Leon would be fun.
Yeah.
Because Leon's not going to want to grapple with him. They'll clinch.
No.
But
well, he might.
He still hits hard as shit, dude.
Leon?
Fucking Conor.
Oh, I'm sure. But I think that's exactly. I think Leon would try to take him down. Because he's like, you know what? I don't care about, how I win the fights. I just want to win the fight. That's very much who Leon is. At the end of the day, he just wants to win.
He's really good at getting people's backs.
Yeah. And Conor's really good at tapping when someone gets his back.
Yeah.
We've only seen it like once, but, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. This Ultimate Fighter thing is kind of weird. What are your thoughts about it, folks at home? Let us know on Instagram or YouTube comments in the comment section, because I do think this Ultimate Fighter season is going to be very interesting. It'll be the first one in a long time that I think will actually be entertaining every now and then, at the very least. I really hope that the fight does happen. It's expected to happen, but if it doesn't, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
They're just hyping us up. They're
probably
gassing us up. I don't know what it could say. I don't know.
Shit, dude, I'm 27. I don't know.
But yeah, that's what's going on in the MMA world right now. We will get back with everybody on Miles Banks and his pro debut. He had to pull out of his fight February 5th. He had an injury going on that he had to deal with, and is hoping to make a return this year. But hopefully we can update you guys on when that'll be. We will be in touch with him. We are sponsoring him for whenever his pro debut is, and we're very excited about that. If you haven't listened to our episodes with Miles, hurry up and do it, because he's going to be a big deal one day. We're pretty certain of it. He's a freak of nature. Just look him up. It's weird. He's huge, and he's an athlete. That makes no sense. He is Cyril Gahn mixed with John Jones.
That's
calling it right now.
That's a good analogy.
Clip it. 2 clips out of this one episode. We're good.
Look at that. Call it a day.
Peace out.